Well, hello everybody. Here for my weekly update. Very rough week this week. My portfolio down 4% overall. So a lot of it happened today actually, as we had a big broad market sell-off after US manufacturing data came in pretty bad and created recession fears once again. There was also some data earlier in the week that didn't come in too well. So it's hard to say what's going to happen going forward, but TMF was my best stock for the week and up 0.52%. It will do well in a recession environment. So was almost tempted to add to it today, but it's just let me down too much lately that I just couldn't get myself to make the move. I did make a couple of buys this week, new positions for me. A company called NBIS, ticker symbol NBIS, which is an AI company which NVDA is actually invested in. And another company called Grab, which is ticker symbol GRAB. It's basically an app that's basically services the Southeast Asian area. It's kind of like a Uber app. So, but it actually, there's a lot more to it than that. But after researching both of those companies, I decided to make a move and see how they go. They're both very, very small positions. I will add to them, if things work out. But so far, as it wasn't a good week, neither one of those two finished the week very well. So I'm actually down a bit on both of them. Last week on my video, I mentioned that I had put a stop loss in place for my PLTR stock, and my fear was that it had rocket shipped up so much recently that it was bound to have a big correction at some point. Well, this week it happened big time. It dropped over 20% and really hasn't recovered since then. So I got stopped out at $115 on 80% of my shares. And it did peak out at about a little over 125 just before the news came out that, first of all, the defense fund, U.S. defense fund, which PLTR has about 66% of its contracts are with U.S. Department of Defense. So they had said that the rumor is that they'd like to slash about 8% of that budget. So that's what created the big scare. And then their CEO Alex Karp also indicated that that he's going to sell some shares, which normally insiders will do, and it's been put in place ahead of time so that they can't sell when it's right at the top or right at the bottom. They just have a certain date, a period of time that they can sell these insider shares, right? So between the two bits of news, it just sent PLTR into a tailspin. So I'm glad that I had my stop loss in place. Obviously, I did lose some money before it kicked in. I actually had the stop loss set at 119, but it didn't actually kick in till 115, and that's just a matter of how things work. You never. If you set a stop loss, you're not necessarily going to get stopped out right at your stop loss setting. It's usually going to be a little bit lower. So and that's what happened. So I did lose some money, or potential money on paper, but I would have been way down. I would have lost a ton of money had I not put the stop loss in place. So, you know, the shares are now around $101. And like I said, I got stopped out at 115. So great move on my part. I'm not sure if I'm going to get back into it or not. I had actually thought about rebuying my full position earlier today, but I just still don't have totally good thoughts about it right now. So I'm going to hold off and just see how it is. So therefore, I'm in about 20%, just over 20% cash right now in my overall portfolio. So the portfolio will show, my updated portfolio will actually show 100% of my stocks, but that's just my actual stocks. I'm like I said, I have an additional 20% of my portfolio in cash. So, and you know, I'd obviously like to deploy that as soon as possible. Probably will at some point next week, or at least partially deploy it, and we'll go from there. As far as my other positions go, NVIDIA was down 1.46%. Now we've got NVIDIA earnings coming up next week, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think it's going to do well, but you just never know for sure. So I certainly haven't added to it recently. We're going to see how the earnings play out here. Tesla down 6.92%. Pretty bad week for Tesla. And then my two small cap ETFs, because of the recession fears, they got hit pretty hard. TNA down 12.40% for me. IJH down 3.43%. So not a good week for those two, for small caps. As far as my Canadian stocks go, Aritzia down 4.45%. So again, it corrected some more this week. CP down 1% for the week. Meta was down 5.87%. And my two new stocks, which I didn't own for the whole week, but NBIS was down 11.46%, and GRAB, GRAB, was down 1.61%. So, like I said, we'll see where things go with those two. They're both very small positions at this point. I think that's about covers it for this week. And check out my updated portfolio. As I said, my stocks are showing 100%, but I have an actual 20% of my portfolio in cash right now. So, which is the largest cash position I've had in a long time. But that's as a result of the Palantir stop loss getting triggered. So. Other than that, I hope everybody's doing well. I guess we will see you again next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now.